What's up, guys? So I was part of a really cool program held by Colored Music Collective where they match you with a mentor in the music industry. And this time I was matched with Sydney Goldenbeck. Sydney's awesome. She's a global creative from Capitol Records. She did me the favor to take time out of her busy schedule and, show me some things in the music industry. She helped me with this project and helped oversee it and just make sure everything I created makes sense. With that being said, I wanted to talk a little bit about my Frank Ocean mock marketing plan. So basically I made a mock marketing plan for what the next rollout for Frank's next album might look like. And I decided to call that album Heritage based off of what he said was the inspiration for Homer, for his latest jewelry line, which he said was heritage. He feels like jewelry is passed down through generations and that keeps that sense of heritage. So I thought, let's name the next Frank album Heritage. So with that being said, just a little overview. I give you some background here. We know it's been like 5 years since Blonde came out. I came up with a genuine idea of what I wanted the album artwork to look like. He likes a minimal style, doesn't really like making himself the center of attention except for Blonde, but even then he was kind of like blocking his eyes. So I thought we'd keep that theme going. I give a little overview about what I'm gonna be talking about. So like I said, this is a pseudo album and I don't wanna sum up Frank in a few words because it's hard to, but for the sake of this project, we just know that he likes cars, music, movies, nostalgia, lately jewelry, and creating. So I'll be talking about how we can design, create potential album covers, potential activations, partnerships, and more. Ideally, it'd be a collaborative effort between the artist and the marketer, but since he's not here, I'm gonna try to come up with ideas to potentially enrich the marketing of the next Frank album. So campaign goals, you want to make a universe with everything, the advertisements, you don't want it to, I feel like anything Frank does is artistic, so you want to make sure it all rhymes. Come up with unique activations. You want to come up with a unique album announcement encouraging participation. Potential activations with brands such as Spotify's Green Room. I feel like that's a new platform that we could take advantage of and come up with some new ideas, which I'll be talking about more in a second. Group experiences, so come up with like a movie release accompanying the album, music vignettes on TikTok like from the album with snippets of the soundtrack which would be of that album. And then a cool idea I came up with is just kind of having some cryptic cars placed like randomly around the world playing the album or single, and just kind of put that just put a car, the place, and the location, and put it in a way where people know it's related to Frank, so fans, would flock out, but I'll speak about that in a second. Came up with a mood board, just what the vibe would be for this album, the advertisements and everything. He said he's really into this one interior designer who created his own furniture pieces because he couldn't find anything he particularly liked, so he, took the initiative and made his own furniture, which I thought was cool. So I had a furniture piece by this awesome artist in New York. I want to say her name was Christina. I'll have to double check, but I love her furniture, so I added on there for inspiration. Added some portraits by Jake Wagner that I really liked because I feel like I said, Frank doesn't want to be the center of attention, even though we have a portrait of him in the bottom right corner. Some old BMW magazines, because in the interview as well, he talked about how when he was younger, his grandfather would give him like high-end living magazines with luxury cars, luxury places. And he's a fan of BMWs, as we all know. Added a Homer magazine piece, added some movie titles because the guy's a fan of movies, and also I added those too because I've been watching them lately, and some more colors, color scheme, Prada, look, feel, rollout. We talked about Frank Ocean's interests. He's into cars, he's into the magazine look, taking you back in time, so we could have magazine adverts, Futura font, etc. Bright colors. If you look at the recent singles, you look at the Homer jewelry advertisements, those have a lot of bright colors, minimal. He's into macro shots of models. Speaking briefly about his photography, if you take a look at the cars, like in the Boys Don't Cry magazine, he really likes taking pictures of cars in like real life or where it juxtaposes a nice car where it shouldn't be. For example, I think of the Kanye West pages where he takes a picture, or someone took a picture of Kanye West and it's like his Lamborghini at a McDonald's drive-thru. I feel like you don't see enough pictures like that. Just super nice cars in regular day life. Minimalist, going back to those albums, build on established motifs. So we could talk about music videos of a car with their owner, showing how it ages over time. Just some movie ideas there, some music video ideas, announce new music via an obscure advertisement in a magazine. We could also use that to announce the location of the cars playing his music. We could also create a movie or collaborate with famous directors he admires. In that he wrote a screenplay in the Boys Don't Cry magazine, so I think he's more than capable to collaborate with a screenwriter to come up with a good script for a movie and make that happen. And it's Frank Ocean. I feel like he could totally pull off a full-length movie if he really put his mind to it. Let's talk a little bit about the rollout. For an experience, I thought we could do cars placed randomly around the world playing the album single if COVID permits. This could be a Bose partnership, a Sirius XM partnership. We could reach out to those brands and see how we can make it happen. And it'd be in line with that theme of how with Homer, he came out with a magazine. Instead of making all his jewelry available online, he made it almost like an exclusive higher end good that you can only access being there, physically, which I thought was really cool. And we could do that with this. Well, full-length movie, like I said, we do a movie, trailer release on TikTok, do some vignettes, use scenes from the movie as visualizers. We could do something like Interstellar 555, merch. We could have a magazine, a screenplay like A24. We could have Homer pieces included in select packages. For a fan opportunity, we could reward top fans on Spotify with a green room audio chat, which I'll be talking about more in a bit. So for the album content rollout, for the marketing opportunities, we'd create a series of visualizers, canvas videos, using the footage from the movie for every track. We could also go out of our way, create 3 official music videos for 3 focus tracks, create lyric videos to capitalize on more streams, because Sydney showed me that a lot of YouTubers or random people decide to capitalize on that before the label does. So now it's more common practice for record labels to create lyric videos to get those streams. Otherwise, someone else will. Continuing with the project, so potentially we could create a brand partnership with BMW or Tesla to create visuals, provide us with cars. I think that'd be really cool, and I think it's Frank, he can do it. Heritage radio, so we know blonded radio is a thing. Heritage radio would be in lieu of blonded radio. It could be one of 2 potential activations sponsored by Bose or Sirius. We could place BMWs, E30s in major cities, New York, LA, etc. Advertise them in magazines with location, time, place, etc. and have the cars playing snippets of the album. If COVID doesn't allow that to happen, or if that's a legal issue or the team can't make it happen, then Frank could create actual radio stations on air in big cities and have people tune in to hear snippets. So I think that'd be really cool, because we live in a day where we can curate the music we listen to. Nobody really listens to the radio anymore. So let's backtrack to a time where you'd have to go on the radio to listen to something new or listen to what you wanted to hear. So we could get into that nostalgia factor. So this would be all in efforts to get everyone talking about the album on social by participating in a new and unique way. For the Heritage movie, Frank Ocean could create a movie with the theme of heritage. The movie could be about a teenager who inherited his father's old E30 in 2050. He's trying to escape the rising oceans on the West Coast in said E30. Release the trailer on all platforms. We could play the movie in select theaters if COVID permits, and then reward fans with stickers, merch, codes to enter the Clubhouse green room chat with Frank. I'll talk about that in a second. So the movie could be produced, written, directed by Frank, soundtrack by Frank, extension of the album, like I said, similar to Daft Punk. So for the Clubhouse green room thing, I think it's cool that Spotify has been doing this thing where they give top fans, like top 5%, top 3%, etc., an image to share on their Instagram story to say, hey, look, I'm part of this artist top 5 fans, look at me. So we could do that, and instead of just rewarding them with them knowing that statistic, we could reward them with access to some private Spotify green room chat. I haven't seen that done before. I feel like it'd be really cool, not just for Frank, but any artist. Basically talk with Spotify and be like, hey, can we get Frank in a room? And he talks with his top fans, and they can ask him questions, or it's like very strict. But I think that'd be a cool thing. I think it'd be an interesting and first of its kind activation. Merch, talk about the gas can, because I'm knowing that gas is going to be very scarce in the future. And going back to the theme of the movie with climate change and escaping rising oceans, I think it'd be really cool to have a gas can, because the kids probably gonna have gas cans. Screenplay, which was inspired by A24 screenplays, some stickers with like Rise and Boss, like textured stickers, like give them a unique flair. Duffel having from the movie, because the grandfather and the kid would have a duffel full of their belongings. Shirts with the logo. These are all just some ideas. Even getting some, on some advertisements and NFTs. So on the left, you could see an NFT example. That's a ocean I rendered in Blender with the logo on top. Then on the right would be an example of a movie advert, the album advert. You could keep it vague, opaque. I just put the date, visit blonded.co, because I don't know if Frank likes being mysterious, but he's been really leaning in towards that vibe, as we've all seen. We don't know what the guy's up to, so I think this would be really cool and would just make sense for Frank. Those are just some of my ideas of what we could do for the Frank Ocean next mock marketing plan. I had fun with it. I really enjoyed it. I was thankful that I was able to talk this out with Sydney. It was really fun making the graphics, and I just wanted to make this as a project. I could just inform others of my ideas. Maybe you could get some ideas. Maybe you want to speak about these ideas. Maybe a label wants to reach out to me and, elaborate on these ideas further and see how we can make it happen. If not for Frank, but another artist, that'd be super awesome. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it, learned something new, or, got some ideas, or just like looking at pretty pictures. Thank you.